Ladies and gentlemen, the horror of your presence is absolutely required at the marriage of...
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. They were closing up, but I got it. Let's speed things up. Comes the queen, ain't that a scream? No one can ever be quite as mean.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join these two gargoyles in matrimony. Is there any creatures present who knows why these two should not be wed?
Hey man, I've been checking on your lines and there needs to be a... What are you doing?
I'm officiating a wedding. What does it look like I'm doing?
You can't officiate a wedding, you're not even ordained.
Yes, I am.
By who?
Lord Zedd.
Huh. Can't argue that.
And now, live from the red carpet, we have your husband and I mean wife, Lord Zedd and Rita Repulsa.
Hello everyone, this is KIDM the man and I hope you guys enjoyed that ceremony. So today we're looking at the Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection 25th Wedding Anniversary 2-pack of Lord Zedd and Rita Repulsa. Finally, after 27 years, we have a proper Rita figure. Just a heads up, the main focus of this video would be on Rita herself, with a small segment for Lord Zedd, as it is the same figure that we got from Wave 1. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the articulations first, accessories second, then I'll let you know what I think of the figure. Her head is on a ball joint, which allows her to look up that far and look down that far. Every ball joint can be a rotation. One thing to note is that the headgear does hinder the articulation, but you can turn it around. The design of her body armor is made of soft plastic, so you have to be careful when you're posing it. Otherwise, if you bend it too much, with time it will worn out and snap off. As you can see, Rita is covered in a cloth, but underneath that cloth, she will have the same points of articulation, just like any standard female ranger figure. Butterfly joint at the arm moves out, rotation at the arm. Be careful when you rotate, because you might tangle up the cloth. If you were to roll up her sleeve, single jointed elbow, an elbow swivel. Her cuffs are not molded in, so you can actually rotate them. Rotation at the hand. The wrist accessory was in the way, so now you can see that her hand can move up that far and move down that far, side to side tilting. She can crunch, she can crunch forwards or backwards. No waist swivel, but watch out for her cones. A beautiful, yeah, the cloth will hinder the articulation. Ooh. If we were to lift up her dress, then you get the repulsor spread. With the dress lifted up, she can kick up that far and kick back that far. This isn't the one that's hindering the articulation, it's the shape of her butt. And with the dress down, she can kick up that far. The cloth is really hindering the articulation. She has an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Here's another look. Upper boot cut swivel, a hinge joint at the ankle, And finally, Hasbro's signature ankle pivot. And here's Lord Zedd. His head is on a ball joint. He can look up that far and look down that far. The design on the back of his neck allows him to look up further, and the way that there is a gap in between here allows him to look down further. Rotation at the head. Butterfly joint at the arm. But be careful of his tubes. Arm moves out. Upper bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. A wrist swivel. Hinge joint at the arm. Some side to side tilting. Rotation at the torso. He can bend forward and backwards. An evil spread. He can kick up that far and kick back that far. Upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. No boot cut swivel. He has a hinge joint at the feet, but due to the silver parts, it's hindering the articulation. At least we still have our ankle pivot. So with that lackluster articulation section out of the way, let's take a closer look at the accessories. Rita comes with 2 weapon holding hands, an open palm, and a close-fisted hand. She also comes with her bouquet and also her love potion. Here's Rita's magic wand and their wedding cake. Lord Zedd comes with a close-fisted hand, a weapon holding hand, a nicely detailed bomb to make the monsters grow, his Z-staff, which also comes with a recolored effect part. Last but not least, we have the Green Ranger's crystal. One thing about Rita is that her body mold already has the shape or the molding of a chest. What happens here is that it makes her cones protrude out even more. Maybe someone in Hasbro wanted to make them even bigger. Now I really do appreciate the fact that we finally have a proper Rita figure. As compared to the only version I own and know of, this is definitely a far more superior figure. Here she is standing next to the 2010-2011 version that was released along with the Power Rangers Samurai figures. And here is the 2017 Rita Repulsa figure from the Power Rangers movie. I mean, just look at the comparisons. There is no competition. Even though her dress does hinder the articulation, and you may not know where her points of articulations are, I'm glad you can easily roll up her sleeves and dress, pose her in any way you want, and make it look like you knew what you were doing. One thing to note is that the design of her outfit has a silver trim instead of the usual gold. That's because this is the dress that she wore for her wedding. So I and the fans would expect that Hasbro would probably re-release this figure again with the gold-colored patterns, either as a store-exclusive figure or as a regular release figure. No, I don't mean the tiny one. And I can almost guarantee you that they will probably give the figure a different face sculpt. And if that's true, that's also gonna give me a headache. Now as for Lord Zedd, the figure itself really is the exact same one as we got from Wave 1. The only difference I can see with my own eye is that the blue tubes are a much darker shade than the original. However, that is just a minor difference. We have a different colored effect piece, which is still the same molding. The Monster Grow Bomb has a red line of paint for extra detailing, and the tail end of his staff is correct this time. Oh well, all the more reason for me to pack this guy up and sell him off. And that's really the only differences between this Zedd and Wave 1 Zedd. I'm kidding. This Zedd got his nails done for the wedding. Now in case you guys want to sell the Wave 1 Lord Zedd, but you want to keep the red effect part, might I suggest that you use the same red effect part that came with Psycho Red from the Psycho Ranger Team 5 pack. You can then take the purple effect piece and give that to Rita. Now they can team up and make their monsters grow. And now for the ultimate question. Should you pick these guys up? Yes And no. The reason as to why I said no is due to the fact that this set is indeed a tribute to the wedding episode. If you're a person who not only nitpicks that this figure is not show accurate, relax. Just give it a few more months. Hasbro would love to milk the cones of Rita and re-release her again in the near future. What about their accessories? Come on, you're not gonna wanna have her wedding cake, her love potion, not even a bouquet of plastic flowers. At most, Hasbro is gonna give her standard release, a version of her staff, an effect part, and maybe, just maybe, an alternate face sculpt. So before I sell off by other Lord Zedd, I would really like to compare the potential two figures of Rita Repulsa and decide on which ones I'm gonna sell. Why am I so confident about this? We got a new Goda, that's why. Now for the question as to why should you get this set? You're getting it for Rita, that's why. The painting, the sculpting, and the stitching on the dress of this figure is amazing. Hasbro was not lazy to paint the hairbands, the gold accents on the collar, the cones even. Her headgear details are painted really well. Her face sculpt is menacing, but there could be errors, so choose carefully if you have a choice to pick up the better one. The gold plastic, the painted rings on her hands, the gold paint on her wand. Man, so much talk about gold. You could have sworn, I love gold. As for Lord Zedd, it is still the same figure, but with a proper staff, a painted bomb, manicured fingers. It's definitely a slight improvement. Oh, and let's not forget about the green crystal. The love potion, bouquet, the wedding cake, I can live without them. But I do appreciate Hasbro for making them. As for the green crystal, I like this very much. Now Zedd can take away Tommy's powers. So all in all, it really depends on you. Do you want to get the extra Zedd just to get a Rita? Are you willing to wait for a year that another Rita could be released again? Do you want these accessories? Maybe future Rita will come with a crystal. Now that's a good idea. Another love potion and a bouquet? Yeah, please don't. Special thanks to Gila Poster KL for making it possible for me to obtain these figures. Please consider sponsoring me or give me discounts for my future purchases. As you saw from the beginning of my video, I went to their store in Ampang again to pick these guys up. And there's plenty more where that came from. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave a comment. I love to discuss with you on what you think of these figures. Share it around. And also, thank you guys so much for the 800 subscriptions. In Chinese culture, 8 is a very lucky number. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Well, that's enough for today. This is KIDM the Man, and I'll see you guys next time. It's Malaysia's Independence Day, and this is the Twin Towers.